Yes, there are a lot of other podcasts out there about gaming and current events, but none of them are this cool. This is Alt F4. Alt F4. Video games and current events are our life. It's what we live for. Are you ready? Let's do it. And now your host, a coffee-loving, scotch-drinking, cigar-smoking gamer. This is DuperZo.
What's up, everybody? We have an episode that it has been quite a chore to try to get episodes in, but that's okay. Hello, Miggy, how you doing?
Pretty good, man. How you doing?
Good. As our discussion board says, we'll be talking about Modern Warfare 2 and its launch. Mr. Canis wants to talk about Gotham Knights because he's played it. I have not. I just know of all the kind of, not controversy, but just more of the gripes that people are having. And then we're both really super excited about God of War Ragnarok coming out. So a lot of cool stuff coming. We're going to look over here at the screen to get the story. Come on now. Why is it doing that now? There we go. Whew. All right.
Everyone keeps secrets. Sometimes it's the only way to protect the ones we love.
I know you. God Killer. What is it you want from me? Is it a god of war you came to find?
You don't really want war, do you, Kratos? All that blood on your hands, on your son's hands.
What is it you will not tell me?
I can't talk about it, but I just need you to trust me.
We follow your every whim.
But you don't believe in any of it.
And still I follow. Because all that matters is that you are safe.
But that's not all that matters. Who's keeping you safe?
I do not need you to protect me.
You sure about that?
Pretender god! For the old father!
Death can have me when it earns me.
What do you even know of God's word? In your lifetimes, has anyone ever worshipped you? Ever prayed to you? Can you even imagine that kind of love? No! You don't care about anything beyond yourself. Beyond the monster who kills without cause.
Fate only binds you if you let it. Do what is necessary. Not because it is written. We will make our own destiny.
God dang it. That is, oh man, that is cool. 100%. Whew.
And they still kept Thor fat. I'm just joking.
Shut your mouth. That's how he is. What he's talking about is the stupid people who think that the Marvel Thor is what actual Norse Thor looked like. And no, he was a strong man, beer drinking strong man. So
yeah. If they ever switch that voice actor's, like Kratos' voice actor, to someone different, I don't think I would ever play this game. The man is amazing.
Honestly,
His voice is
they're
wow.
yeah. I mean, they would probably do what they're doing with Star Wars now. I mean, James Earl Jones did voice Vader again for Obi-Wan, but they may just, but there are cartoons where they've used Vader's voice that James Earl Jones was not doing it, but they've taken his voice and like added it through the powers of magic, right? Of like editing magic. So, I mean, I'm sure because like that is his voice. Like there's, as much as you want to talk about Snake having a very iconic voice, that's a hard voice to like, boy, you know what I mean? Like there's like, you know what I mean? You can't. It's honestly, he is irreplaceable as Freddie Mercury.
Yeah.
Nobody can sing, like even good cover bands of Queen cannot even come close to sounding like him, even when they try. So but
no, it's one of those, like, obviously it's been a lot of controversy around like the gaming world right now with like people just like knowing that they're not irreplaceable. Like for an instance, Bayonetta, I mean, that the voice actress on that one got switched out to
$15,000. Did you see that?
Yeah, $15,000.
$15,000 fucking dollars. Sorry, that's not funny.
But I mean, one of the main things is just knowing that like this individual has been doing this. I don't know his name, but he's just been playing Kratos for so long, and it's just like it's so iconic when you hear him do his like really deep voice, and it's just like, damn.
Yeah, and I've beaten it once, and now I'm going back. I started a playthrough again, like 2 nights ago, and God, it's such a good game. It's such a good game. I know you haven't beaten it, and the game comes out on Tuesday. You need to. You've
Get
had
on the
4 years.
I know.
I saw a funny meme. Go ahead.
No, I'm saying it's just so difficult, especially around the holiday seasons when you have like all these games that come out, and it's to try to go back to something that I should have played for like throughout the whole year, and especially now that like the next the sequel coming out, it's like, damn it, I should have freaking finished it, but
just filter it into your week, like if you dedicate, like, because I know you have a lot going on with personal stuff, but in the video game realm you have a lot going on with the free company with Final Fantasy. But like if you could dedicate one day a week to put in like 2 hours or 3 hours, whatever, at night when you're home just chilling, like that's what I've been doing, just sitting on the couch playing it, enjoying it.
No, it's I mean it's crazy. I actually picked up my VR again, and I was playing the hell out of that. So it's like, it's crazy. It's just my gaming world just like switches so much. It's so hard.
Yeah.
But I mean, just with the trailer alone, that looked amazing. I mean, everything about like this new game that's coming out is just, I mean, the Valkyries, Fenrir, that last part with Thor.
When that scene when Fenrir is right there standing next to him, and he just fucking launches his bow or his arrow, and that's so fucking dope.
Everything throughout that whole thing. It's just it's pretty damn memorable. Santa Monica doesn't mess around, especially with God of War. They don't mess around. Just like Horizon Zero Dawn and Guerrilla.
Yeah. See, okay. No, hold on. I know that sounded a lot heavier than I intended it to. I am having a hell of a time playing through Horizon, the Forbidden West.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's like, it's not that it's hard. Well, it is harder than the first one, I feel like. I mean, I'm playing it on normal and I'm struggling.
Really?
Yep. But it's just like, the game's been out since what? February, right? February,
Yeah,
March?
around that time.
All right, so spoilers is that's gone. I'm feeling like the questing that you have to do to set up Gaia, it's so monotonous. It's like, okay, so you need to go get, Poseidon, and you need to go get whatever, and I don't know, like, again, it's just my own mental block about it. But then, like, I look at the map, and because I'm focusing on the main quest, which I get it, it's an open world game, so you can, like, they want you to do side quests, but I'm like really invested in the story, right? I look at the map and I just have these little fucking snake lines through the fog. You know what I mean? I'm just like, oh my God. Yeah. I was like, dude, I'm missing so much of this map right now. And it's like, I kind of feel like, as much as I really loved Valhalla, I feel kind of overwhelmed by their map. Mm-hmm. Like, Valhalla, dude, like, and I think that's also kind of where my burnt out is with that kind of a game style, is because Valhalla, technical difficulties, folks, sorry. Valhalla really, like, oh God, having to unlock the kingdoms, though cool, was very monotonous and very grindy. So I feel like I really, even though I've beaten that game over a year ago, I feel like I like burnt out my desire for open world games, Yeah.
Keep that thought of what you just said right now for, like, the later subjects that we're going to talk about, because that's, just give you a heads up on that.
Yeah. And it's like, and that's hard, but what's funny though is, and I don't know what the difference is, but like Red Dead Redemption, right? Massive map. I have played through that story like 5 times now, 6, and I could play it again and I wouldn't care. And I don't know if it's because they just made it's kind of like, let me finish that thought. Sorry. I don't know if they just made the experience of traveling cool because it's such a beautiful game. And I'm not saying Horizon Zero Dawn's not a beautiful game, but you get to look like a fucking cowboy and on a horse and all that shit. And it's kind of feels like traversing a big open map does not feel so daunting. Like, for example, I can fast travel if I need to, if I get to the little wagon wheel. But in Horizon Zero Dawn, you can fast travel, but like you use sleeping bags. So like, and you have to craft, like, you know what I mean? Like, there's so much you have to craft in that game just to do the bare necessities, where it kind of feels like, fuck, dude, I don't want to do this anymore. Like, I'm mentally fucking tired. Like, I have to, like, give it a break. But the other, when I said I needed to finish that thought, it also is like with Spider-Man and Miles Morales Spider-Man, traversing the city is amazing. Like, it is so much fun, swinging webs and all of that. So it didn't feel like a big daunting task, if that makes sense.
No, I think the biggest thing, at least for like Horizon, is because there's just so much, like, there's so much real estate on your screen. Not necessarily like the HUD itself, but it's just, there's so much like vegetation, trees, just like, it's just so much that's on your screen that you don't really see past beyond those barriers. Unlike Red Dead, where you could actually see the terrain that you're traveling to, and it's kind of like you have a and B like location to travel to. But if it's covered in trees and and all this stuff, and not to mention like the animals, or at least like whatever you traverse on, is really slow. It's not as fast as like you're going on Red Dead, or something like Wildlands, for an instance. Like Wildlands, I like to traverse through the worlds too, or Breakpoint. You know what I mean? I think it's just like there's just so much real estate, or there's just so
sensory
much
overload.
Yeah, it's not something that I like, but yeah.
Yeah, I feel you. I do. Yeah. But
But no, I mean, just to like feed off of that too. I think those kind of games, it's kind of tiring me out too. Like just the open world, like since you brought up Valhalla. The biggest point for Valhalla is just the fact that you're on the boat and you have like the sea shanties that they talk, or like the stories or whatever they do, and that's kind of like part of the gameplay that kind of immerses you to stay within the world to try to traverse instead of like using waypoints. But it's difficult. It's difficult. I think it's really hard for developers to try to figure out a good, like, mundane way for people to stay focused on the actual map and side quests. Because the thing, like with God of War with me, it's the same situation. Like there's a lot of side missions, and it's like I don't want to do them because like, first off, like, even though it is open world per se, it's still kind of like pathy. You know what I mean? There are certain points where I don't feel like it's as open as I would consider an open world game. But I think that's one of the main reasons why it's kind of like hard to grind through. But like you just, not to bring up Red Dead so much, because again, such an amazing game. I want to traverse those worlds because of the fact of like there's something that's going to pop up eventually, like a bandit or a person or something.
Oh, your camera went out.
Yeah. Give me a second.
You're good.
There we go. Sorry about that. But yeah, so that's kind of where I'm at with that kind of stuff. So
yeah. Speaking of Red Dead, I wanted there was something that happened. Oh man.
Yeah. Hold on, give me 1 second.
You're good.
Yeah, but go ahead.
So with Red Dead, there was this meme that I saw that made me think of you. Back to when we were doing the Worthless Pictures podcast.
Yeah.
And remember 2018, Matt and I and Seth and Sam were all like, dude, Red Dead is like, it's good. It's a great game, but God of War is just lit,
Mm-hmm.
And then it won Game of the Year, and you're like, that's bullshit.
Yeah.
It's like, no. So anyways, dude, there's this meme where it's the Grim fucking Reaper, and he's got fucking Kratos' face, like head on his shoulders, and there's two doors, and one door is open, and there's feet sticking out in their cowboy boots, and it says Red Dead Redemption on it, and it has a blood trail, and it says Game of the Year, and then it says knocking, and then the door on the door says Elden Ring.
What the?
It's true. Like, dude, like God of War is going to win Game of the Year. We already know that.
Oh yeah.
We already know that. The game's not even out yet, but the review copies that got put out are getting their scores, and it is 10 out of 10, 10 out of 10, 9 out of 9, 5 out of 5, however high the score count goes for particular publishers. And I mean, dude, like, Santa Monica makes a good fucking game. Yeah. And it's because they create a world where you actually are, like, you care about what's going on, and they pay attention to detail, and they don't do, in my mind, they don't do stupid, unnecessary things.
Yeah.
When they make their games.
But it's their theme too. God of War, the Greeks, the Vikings, and just that those times are just, it's so amazing, even from like the shows, you know what I mean? Like just anything that involves that criteria, or at least that theme, is just, it just shoots up into the roof in such an amazing manner.
How far in God of War did you get?
I think the last time we talked, I'm still in the same boat. I haven't really picked it up, but I think the last time was when you travel to the top of the mountain, you find a tree, and that's where I'm at.
So still
Like
pretty
the
early.
head that's on the tree. Yeah.
Oh, you find what's his face, the fucking the head dude.
Yeah. Well, not the head dude that you're carrying all the. Oh, is that what it is? You're carrying him all the time, right?
You take him
You know
out
what?
of the
Then
tree.
maybe I'm a lot. Then maybe it's where Kratos' son gets poisoned or something happens to him, and he's like,
oh yeah, and then you have to go to Helheim.
Yeah. I think that's where.
Okay, so that's my point. So do you care about? Okay, I don't care about Kratos. Okay, so he doesn't get
Twitter.
Right. He doesn't get poisoned. He is sick, and like you know that from the very beginning, right? And it's because he has like Kratos being a god when he had sex with his mom, who's an earthling. There's something going on in his body where it's like it's kind of like rejecting, like his body's rejecting the blood. Basically, for if I remember correctly, I'm sure people can fucking just blow me up if I'm wrong on that. But I do know that he's sick because he has Kratos' blood in him, because he has the blood of a god. He's a half god, half human.
Right.
I would love, dude, like so if they continue down this road of like arcing through different lores and cultures and things like that, I would love, dude, if at the end of Ragnarok, like if something happens where like you think they're gonna die, or like if fucking Kratos dies and then like you become his boy, that would be dope. But point being, like, how fucking sick would it be that, like, let's say Kratos dies and like the Nordic gods are dead or whatever, and it's just like quiet and like the ground rumbles, and then fucking Anubis comes out of the fucking ground and grabs his body and rips him into the underworld. Holy shit, bro, we're going to Egypt. Like that would be, dude, if they did a God of War during like Egypt mythology, oh my god, that would be so amazing. Because I don't know where they're going to go with after Ragnarok, and I'm sure obviously like we'll find out in a few days, but I mean, Ragnarok is the end of the world. So
it could be the end of Kratos.
Could be, right, exactly. So
which I actually would prefer that, to be honest. Kratos, like again, for being as long of a chapter that he's been, doing this. Like for him to have a respectful death would be epic,
Yeah.
And unlike like The Last of Us and how Joel died, where that was basic bullshit. Sorry, but I personally I would like to see his son kind of take over his dad's like legacy. Not like obviously like the story of Kratos is sad, but not be like his dad, but being a half god and how you just said, like bringing in like, and what's funny is it's kind of mind blowing now that you were saying what you were saying, and it kind of makes sense, so how supposedly a lot of this it's a myth, right? Like the Vikings, I mean there were Vikings, but they're gods. And
you mean the mythology, they're pagan religion, yeah.
Right. So what if all of that was real and there was a Kratos that did destroy all those gods? And that's why we don't know that in our society now, because was destroyed because of a god. You know what I'm saying? Does that make sense?
I don't know where you're connecting dots right now, but sure.
Yeah, well,
are you just saying like what you would think would be cool?
No. I'm saying like right now, how come we don't have a Thor like in our society right now? How come we don't have a Zeus or a Gaia? You know what I'm saying? Well, because they all died because of Kratos thousands and thousands and thousands of years ago. But they're telling his story in a video game. When in
I
reality,
see what you're saying. I thought
You know
you
what I'm
I thought
saying?
you were
Like-
legitimately asking me why we don't have these like in today.
like legitimate. But that's what I'm saying. Wouldn't that be pretty cool? Like,
Yeah, I
actually
mean, it
make-
would be like, it would be like the same thing where it's like, you know, in The Walking Dead, the Walking Dead took place in a world where zombies weren't a thing, so that's why they call them
Right.
walkers. They don't call them zombies. Like, yeah, you know, so like that little fun alternate. Yeah,
Yeah. It's just pretty cool. Just to, to picture that. Oh yeah, the next gods that need to die is the Egyptian gods.
dude,
That'd be
and then
cool. That'd be
you could do like two stints in Egypt, and then you could do you could go to like India and go up in the Tibetan mountains and shit.
Yeah, that'd be cool. Yeah, I mean, God of War it still has so much that it can go through, and then not to mention like how I think we talked about it in other podcasts, but just how our technology is just changing. So these games are just looking amazing and amazing and amazing, and I'm honestly I would love to see them to do a remake, like God of War remakes, like all three, the legendary three that everybody just fell in love with. and
Yeah, like
actually
from the ground
give it-
up.
Yeah, kind of like how Resident Evil's going right now, because Resident Evil 4 is going to be amazing.
Yeah.
So,
Dude,
yeah.
you're not wrong, and that's actually kind of a good segue into Modern Warfare.
Yeah.
So I know where you're at now in the story. So you're just Laswell got kidnapped, and then you did the Indiana Jones truck hopping, which I listened. I was like, dun, 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 dun.
I hate that damn mission
Oh,
so much.
dude, it was
Just as
great.
much-
Oh,
Just as much as actually going with Price in the fields like that. Like
you
I
had a
get,
hard time with the
know,
sniping mission?
No, that snipe. Yeah, I will be honest. Yes, it was ridiculous.
You
Because I'm
fucking
playing-
muppet.
okay, Look, I'm playing.
How did
this
you
game
pass
on hard
selection?
mode. I'm playing this game on hard mode, right? Like I haven't played easy, normal. Every Call of Duty game, I always play hard mode, so I can get to the hardest difficulty.
Yeah, so you're
realistic,
playing
so
on
I can
veteran,
get it
yeah.
through. Always. And these bastards have like the best sights in the damn game that I just barely turn a corner, I die. And it's not like one time, it's like 17 damn times. And it's just so annoying. And that mission alone, when you have to clear both buildings, I was stuck on it for like almost 2 days. I couldn't do it.
Are you
I
serious?
swear. I will tell you right now, my wife who was sitting next to me, which by the way is going to lead into something pretty funny, but she was watching me die over and over and over, and she's like, "You got this, baby. You got this." I'm like,
I don't got this.
I'm trying. She goes, "You sound just like Jet." I was laughing so hard. Oh my god, dude! I swear, bro, I was yelling. I was like cursing, and I was saying vulgar things, and it was just the funniest thing in the world, though, when she brought that up, and it made me laugh.
Oh,
But I am actually super happy with this year's Call of Duty. Stupid. I think they put way more effort into this game
yeah.
than the other Call of Duty games. I think like Modern Warfare 2, what is it, 2007? Was it 2007?
Modern Warfare, the first
2009?
one came out in 2007.
Yeah.
Modern
So,
Warfare 2 came out in
just-
2009.
So Modern Warfare 2009 was absolutely amazing, epic, best. I think that was my hands down best Call of Duty game that I loved the most. And for them to up that with this year,
Yeah, with like Shadow Company and Shepard and all that. Dude.
the story is, and you were talking about Alejandro, bro. That boy, he's my boy, dude. He's sick. He's sick.
Yeah.
He's sick.
But
As of
dude,
right now, maybe there might be more. But I
and
don't know.
and what okay, so that was my point. So when we're talking about like how games are looking so real, those cutscenes, okay, first of all, the in-game graphics are amazing. It looks like you could just touch everything and it's real.
Yeah.
But those cutscenes, dude, like it's hard to tell It is hard to tell.
yeah.
And that probably my favorite cutscene is when they get to Las Almas and they're driving in the G-Wagons. Remember I told you to watch? Bro, when Rodolfo looks in the rearview mirror and Ghost looks back at him like that, he looked fucking real, dude.
Yeah,
he did not look like a video game character, bro. I was like, dude, he's gonna fucking kill you. Yeah, oh my gosh.
Even when they were interrogating Sin Nombre, like, that looked stupid weird when they were yelling at each other. He's like, idiot, like, you're an idiot. And it was just like, obviously they use other terminologies, but I was like, whoa, are we watching a movie? Like, what? I mean, these are real life actors, number one. So I think
they all look like the guys,
that makes it even more enjoyable. And on top of it, I'm sorry, Soap, voice actor, damn.
Yeah, that's not the original guy either.
No, it's not. And his voice is so freaking heavy.
There were some people that were saying that they hated his voice acting. And hold on, and it has to do with the fact that like the original Soap, like his Scottish accent popped out every fucking vowel, every fucking letter. That's not how accents work. So when he's talking, like, you can still hear it, but then there's words like around and all that, right? But it's because it's those R's and the S's and the, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And he did it perfect. Like, he did such a good fucking job.
Yeah. Okay, hold on. So he's Scottish? I thought he was Irish.
No, he's Scottish.
He's
so
Scottish?
McTavish is a Scottish guy, yeah.
So how come he's wearing British flags on him?
Because he is. So do you not know? Okay, so here's the trifle of my people, right? Because I'm half Irish and half Swedish. Okay, and I know Ireland is not Scotland, but Northern Ireland, right? So where Dublin is, that is technically the United Kingdom.
Oh, okay.
They're Ireland, but they still have allegiance to the crown. Scotland, which is on the continent of what is England, okay, the island, to the far north is Scotland or Wales. They have never, even though they're their own country, they have their own flag. They're still, when they join the military, they're still part of the British military. Does that make sense?
Makes sense. Okay. Yeah. Because I was like, why is he wearing that flag when he's I'm sorry, I thought he was Irish.
No,
in
Irish. Let's see. All right, we walk around and do all that. Okay, that's Irish. Okay, and it's the like, all right, roach. It's that deeper talk. It's that heavy northern like.
It's dude. His voice is just damn. I was like, what an amazing accent.
Yeah,
dude.
and I love how they gave.
I just want to hear Soap talk.
I love how they gave like, even though like in Modern Warfare 2, I knew that Ghost was a lieutenant, but like you never really had that like chain of command feeling. So like it's badass that like Ghost is a lieutenant, like he's a commanding officer during what they're doing. So like Soap has to answer to him and like kind of like, hey, like how do you want to tactically, how are we going to do this? Because that's fucking real world, dude. Like it's so cool.
And he doesn't call him Ghost. He's like LT.
Yeah.
Hey, LT. It's like, dude, so far from what I'm experiencing with the story, it's phenomenal. It's amazing. Activision, you're doing well, son. You're doing damn well.
More importantly, Infinity Ward, and like because they're the developer, Activision is the publisher, and I've always thought that Infinity Ward always makes better Call of Duties. People can say that Treyarch does better multiplayer. The first two Black Ops and World at War, sure, like, yeah, compared to Infinity Ward, yeah. But dude, like Sledgehammer Games and Treyarch, the last titles of Call of Duties that they've been putting out have been garbage.
Yeah.
Like absolute garbage. And I feel like they don't it's not that they don't care. It's just more of they just keep repeating the same shit. Like before, let's see, 2019, before Modern Warfare 2019, it was Black Ops 4, which I'm sorry, but that was the first Call of Duty that had no campaign. Nobody wanted that. And I know, like, people are like, oh, I only buy Call of Duty for multiplayer. Okay, well, that's fine. But, like, there's a ton of people who buy Call of Duty for the campaigns. I love the multiplayer, but I love a good military shooter.
Yeah.
Give me characters I want to fight alongside with and things like that. Like, I love that. And then before that, it was World War II, which was a garbage fucking game. And then before that, with Infinity War, what was Infinity War's last game before they went to Modern Warfare was Infinite War. Or Infinity War.
Which was, I know
Call of Duty Infinite, the outer space one.
Infinite, yeah, the stupid one. Mm-hmm.
Well, but hold on. You know what's funny about that, though? Hold on. Bad Call of Duty game, great fucking outer space soldier game.
That's interesting.
That game was fucking dope. You cannot tell me that when you get in those or those whatever the fuck they call their fighter spaceships, and you're zipping around the planet, and like the fucking planet looked real as shit. Like, and especially going back, like now watching, like I don't know if you've watched The Expanse, the TV show. You should watch it. You would love it. There's literally it is literally like Mars versus Earth. Okay.
Oh, that's cool.
And so it kind of like makes that game feel even better now, years later. My point about all of that, because like you said, stupid concept, right?
Yeah.
And instead of them going, well, we could do another, Ghosts didn't do well. And then after Ghosts was Advanced Warfare, which did pretty well. And then they were seeing what people weren't liking. I mean, dude, you know what pissed me off? I promise, guys, I'm making my point here. What pissed me off was Advanced Warfare comes out, and the same campaign, the first campaign mission, Black Ops 3 copies it almost scene by scene. Do you know what I'm talking about? In Advanced Warfare, before you become a military contractor, what happens? You get your fucking arm like ripped off or whatever, or you get it has to do with your arm. I remember that. So you get medically discharged, and then you have the exosuit or the exoskeleton suit. Black Ops 3, same thing. The soldiers shock troop in, and that was the other thing too. In Advanced Warfare, you shock troop in. Black Ops 3, they shock troop in. And what happens to the main character right away? Loses his fucking arm. It's lit. And so anyway, my point is like, the idea is you saw this pattern of like rehashed ideas and no new originality to it. And then what was the dumpster fire of World War II? Even though I say that, but like I liked it, but like the multiplayer, that was probably all-time low for Call of Duty.
Yeah, 100%.
But then you have Infinity War taking all that information in and saying, you know what we're going to do? We're going to completely reboot the most popular trilogy of a Call of Duty franchise. And we're going to do Modern Warfare. We're going to redo it from the ground up. The events of the last three don't exist, but the characters are still all in play. And it worked. Like, dude, I remember at E3 2019 when, or maybe it was before E3 when they did the Call of Duty show play, whatever. And it's just this black scene, and all of a sudden, like, you hear a voice, and it's like, wait, is that Price? And then he comes out of the tree line, and he does the whole Bravo 6 going duck. I was like, oh, fuck, let's go. Everybody was excited about that. Everybody. So I feel like Infinity Ward has listened to the fan base predominantly on what they want to see on a campaign. I know a lot of people are upset about multiplayer right now. But here's the thing. We've gotten so used to how Call of Duty multiplayer has been playing for the last 7-8 years. Modern Warfare 2 actually plays like Call of Duty's from the past when everybody loved them. I'm sorry, this cracked out fucking snorting coke, fucking running around, sliding around bullshit doesn't work anymore. Now, granted, do I like that play style in Warzone? Yes, because it works in a battle royale. But on normal multiplayer, it was some fucking bullshit. Slide canceling in multiplayer was horrific. Slide canceling in Warzone, not so much, because it helped bridge that gap of needing to travel long distance but not wanting to get in the vehicle. And it just kind of, run, it just worked. If it didn't feel as egregious, No,
it's as a veteran of the old trilogy, I feel right at home with this one. And I have all the other Call of Duties. I paid for them. I bought them. I will be realistic with you. I only play them for less than a week. And I just bought a $60 game for nothing. And then I do it the next year. And then I do it the next year. And I do it the next year. And it was just, it got old. It got really old to where I don't know which I don't think I bought Black Ops 3. I think I had 4, but this one, to be very honest, I actually like everything of it. I have no problem navigating the HUD. I have no problem navigating to where I need to navigate. Everything is one click away, if that makes sense. If I need to go into my weapons and I need to go, change out my loadout, it's there. It's right there. I just need to change whatever attachment I want to attach and call it a day. Or, if I need to change a weapon and so on. So it's like a simpleton like myself, I like to say, at least in shooters for sure, I feel as if I'm comfortable with everything that is presented to me in the game. It gives me the 3 main options: quick play, go in third person, or if I want to do co-op. Okay, but if I want to go more in depth, I can go in depth. I can go to ground war, invasion, and all those, and then go down one more, and it's oh, hey, you want to do co-op? Play co-op. I do want to say that I really want more co-op stuff for sure. And I know that the new yes, I bought the $30 pack. I bought it today. And
the what?
I know that it's the $30. It was $30, by the way. I told you that just buying the base game was whatever. I just paid the extra $30 afterwards. So I have the vault or whatever.
Oh, you got the operators, the vault.
Yeah. So I know that what you were telling me, it's obviously, it sounds like a really good deal for $30 to have all that, ready for you. But I was also overhearing that a lot of new free updates that are coming up with new maps, new co-op stuff, different type of weapons that are coming in soon. When 2.0 Warzone comes out, which I'm actually really excited for that one. I'm not a Warzone fan, and you know that. Because battle royales are very difficult for me. It's just because everybody, like you said, they're just cracked out in that game, and it's just so hard to get into it.
And the gun meta changed hourly.
Yeah. It's oh, now use this SMG. Now use this. Use Kimbo. It's okay. Well, I just want to play a Call of Duty game. I just want to get in there, just shoot some shit, and just call it a day. But I'm actually really excited for DMZ.
The Demilitarized Zone?
Yeah. I really want to try that out for Warzone 2.0. But anyways, so at least for this game, the only con that I have right now that I would probably say, and I don't know if it's just a user error on myself, but I'm one of those people that are getting that crashes multiple times on not just even the single player. I got a couple of them on the actual multiplayer. I think like a couple, literally a couple, but on the single player, it's like, my God, it's like it even crashed my save. Like I had to go one map before just to go back and like that sniper one that I was telling you about, that sniper mission. Like it literally crashed when I got on top of the building, and I literally threw a C4 by accident on the ventilation, and I blew it up, and it crashed my damn game. I was like, I guess I killed Gaz like 100%, but anyway, so I had to like play the game before that map, before that map, and then it like led into that, and then I had one crash left, and then the rest of it was just me being dumb and getting shot at by the AI. But yeah, that's the only thing I could possibly say. I've seen so many like videos on how to do it, and I don't want to do it because I updated my drivers on my NVIDIA card, and supposedly that was the issue. And I don't know if it needs to be like something that, you know, Call of Duty has to patch, or if it's something that NVIDIA needs to do. But so far, like I said, that's the only cons that I have with this game, because everything else is just like I feel like I could get toe to toe on people, and I've seen a lot of, you know, like not TikTokers, but like YouTubers and these little shorts on like how to play this new Call of Duty, because it is a whole different ball game. Like you can't, like you said, slide cancel. When you do dolphin jump, you still have a slight millisecond to where you don't have your weapon.
Right.
You know, there's like little minute things that, you know, you have to, you know, now it's more tactical, if that makes sense. Because it's like, you don't have to like run like past a wall or like a corner. Like now you have to aim down that corner to make sure, because someone's just going to fly by through that. You know what I mean? So it's just like old Call of Duty, like how it used to be. Like you literally had to use your gun. You had to still do the movements and move around. And yes, I've caught a bunch of people doing the whole like getting on their knees and crap, and I hate that shit. Like, stand toe to toe, mother. You know, like, let's go. Like, come on. But no, man, they got to do all this crap. And anyway, so. But then again, this
listen,
is like my
the crouching up and down is Call of Duty's version of Rainbow Six Siege going.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, like it's what was I gonna say? Oh my god, it was right there. Fuck. Oh, the crashing. I haven't gotten single player crashes. I've had like 3 or 4 crashes on my PS5, none on my Xbox. And it happens when the server loads, my screen freezes. Like, it's just like, it's just boom. It's just, and then like it says, you know, fatal error or whatever, and then I have to restart the game. But I've never had it, do it during single player. And that co-op, though, dude, like the 3 missions they have right now, have you played them?
I'm on the second mission at the moment. No, I beat the second mission, or the second mission. I'm on the third right now.
Okay. I've only done the first 2. I triple starred the first one with my buddy, and then the second one we didn't do so well because that one was fucking hard.
Bro, that helicopter though is in the Juggernaut, bro. Like, God, that guy just couldn't die.
And I hope, because you know, now that Call of Duty is going to, each developer is going to have a 6-year cycle now.
Mm-hmm.
That's kind of the downside of this, right? Like, we're not going to get Modern Warfare 3 until like 2028, right? Is the math right on that? 4, 6. Hold on. 4, 6. That's 4. Yeah. 2028. But there's a 2-year cycle between Call of Duties. Does that make sense? So it's a 2-6. So Sledgehammer was last year. This year it's Infinity Ward. In 2 years, in 2024, it will be Treyarch, and then 2026 will be Sledge. Okay, right? So in that 2-year time period, I really hope they take advantage of the fact that they're going to do more quality of life updates. So like there is shit that happens cutscene wise at the end of Modern Warfare 2 that sets up for Modern Warfare 3 in a huge way. I cannot wait for you to beat this game, dude, because I really want to talk about it, but we're not going to go there. But I hope that with what you're going to see happen and transpire in a cutscene, that the spec op missions that go on, because they're telling a story, right? With those cutscenes, with Laswell giving the information. I hope that they build up on that to when that game comes out. Yeah.
Yeah.
That would be my hope.
I'm sure they are. And the thing is, I'm probably going to be stuck on this Call of Duty for the 6 years. I don't think I'm going to get the ones in between, just because.
No.
No, I don't think so. I honestly, like, because right now there's still people. Which, by the way, I played World War II. The story, like, I could see why they had the graphics on the story is really nice. Like, the cutscenes are really nice. Gameplay wise, it's very slow and hard. But I could see how, like, I'm going to be stuck on this for the next 6 years, because this is a hell of a good quality Call of Duty. I see this, like, I think even then when I played Call of Duty 2, Modern Warfare 2 back in 2009, and getting to, Call of Duty 3, I think that was it. Like, that's all I wanted to play. I didn't want to play Battlefield. I didn't want to play, like, that was literally my game until that next game came out.
Yeah. I mean, that's how you and I met, was on Modern Warfare 2.
Yeah. So that's why I'm actually, super happy. Like, I think this is definitely worth $70.
Yeah.
I could legitimately say this is worth $70. Actually, not even that anymore. It's $100 because I paid the $30.
Can I just fucking say something since you said that? About $70 for a fucking video game. Have you heard about people pissed off because, it's $70 for PlayStation and it's still the normal $59.99 on Xbox Series X, right? You know that, right?
No, I didn't know that.
Okay. People fucking piss me off. Listen, folks. Video games up until this gen have been $59.99 since I was a little kid. And I am 34 years old. You know what other entertainment prices have gone up since then? Movies, like DVDs, Blu-ray, actual theater tickets have gone up in price multiple times in those years. Like, a lot of entertainment costs have gone up in the last 20 years, and now video games went up $10, $10, and you're gonna bitch about it, and you're gonna say, well, whoa, and you're gonna say, see, even your camera's pissed off, and they're gonna say, like, oh, well, why does PlayStation have to do that for their exclusive titles? Because it's an exclusive title, and guess what, Xbox? When you actually have a next-gen console, come talk to me, because I'm sorry, but this is 2022. I shouldn't have to put AA batteries in my fucking goddamn controller. The fact of the matter is, the PS5 is a true next-gen console. Nobody will convince me otherwise.
Yeah. No,
I have both. I love the Xbox Series X. Don't get me wrong. The games on the 4K TV upstairs look amazing. But I can tell you that the refresh rate on the PlayStation is a little bit better. And I can tell you that the full immersion of what I'm looking at, which looks real as shit, those haptic triggers, even though the first controllers that came out 2 years ago have had issues with the triggers breaking. One of my controllers did it. I know you said one of your controllers did it. But that is a next-gen concept in my mind. Like, when I play Horizon Zero Dawn, and Aloy pulls that bow back and you get that tension. If you've ever shot a bow and arrow before, it is pretty damn close to the feedback you're getting, because there is about, I'm not a bow hunter. I just do it recreationally, but I know enough about bows. So if I missay this, guys, forgive me. But when you pull a bow in real life, there's like levels of feedback that you're getting to let you know that you have the full tension, right? Those haptic triggers give you that information. You can feel it. So if Sony wants to charge an extra $10 fucking dollars, they can charge an extra $20. I'll still pay it.
Yeah.
Sorry, that's my rant on that. But yeah, man, it's just fucking absolutely. Oh, they're fucking $10, man. It's 10. If your hobby is video games, and that's your only hobby, and you're bitching about a $10 increase in the last 20 years, try talking to me who goes hunting, fishing, buying parts from, like, you know what I mean? Like, I have expensive fucking hobbies. Like, $10 is nothing. $10 is literally nothing. That is a, if you go broke because you can't spend an extra $10, then you shouldn't be spending that money on that shit.
Okay. Yeah, no, it's just, you know, it's people, man. It's
Hi, Denise.
Jet says hi. It's I was just gonna say that people's hobbies, like, you know, shooting, like, look at a gun. Like, a gun right now is like over $400 to $900, you know, and that's just a handgun, you know, like,
yeah,
it's intense, and that's someone's hobby, you know, bullets and this and how you said about the bow situation. It's amazing to feel all of that on your controller. Now, I have an Elite, and the Elite has like this little rumble thing on your
wait,
like
whoa,
finger.
whoa. The Elite PS5 controllers came out?
No, the Xbox.
Oh God, dude, I was like, you son of a bitch, you didn't tell me.
No.
I thought that didn't come out until it's
so
like Christmas. Okay. Whew.
Yeah, the feedback on that is like, it's okay. I could feel like the little rumble when I'm driving a car or
but
whatever.
I feel it's the same rumble as the 360 controller.
Yeah, it's the same thing. There's really not much of a difference. But the PlayStation is like, wow, it's a huge difference, and it really does feel good when you're playing. And it's funny because I'm on the PC when I'm playing Call of Duty, and it actually still has those haptics on the PlayStation controller. Like,
are you
I
serious?
Feel, yeah, it's still on there.
Yeah, because I have my Series X is right behind my monitor by my computer. So when I've been streaming on the Xbox, but when I plugged that in, I didn't know that PS5 controllers worked on the
PS5
PC.
controller, yeah. It definitely works, and at least for Call of Duty, it actually uses the haptic feedback, which is very interesting to me. I was like, dude, you even hear it go, zip, you know, like when it gets ready into a game, like the haptics start turning on. Like, I hear it, and I feel it. I'm like, dude.
When I played Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart, and I forget the gun, but there's a gun that has a build-up charge to it, right? And you can feel it in the trigger, like building up, and then you release at the right second. Okay. Imagine how fucking awesome Halo would be if they had haptic triggers in the...
For like the plasma gun?
Right. You know what I mean? Like, dude, just Halo alone, there would be so much feedback that would make that game feel so immersive that, again, I don't know why when we talk, and I don't buy into like the console war stuff. Like, I really don't. Like, I mean, I have all of them. So clearly I'm no fanboy, even though I really do like my PS5 over the Xbox, but it feels like Xbox always is playing catch up to Sony hardware-wise. And I would say very blatantly exclusive game-wise. And it's like, you know, Xbox 360 didn't have a Blu-ray player. PlayStation 3 did. Then the Xbox One comes out and they paid Sony for the royalties of the blueprint of to put the Blu-ray into a console, like whatever they designed to do it. Microsoft paid Sony to get access to that shit so that their console would have a fucking Blu-ray player. And so, okay, great. Now Series X is no problem. They've got it. But, dude, PlayStation has been a rechargeable controller since PS3. Why are they still so fucking outdated with their controllers? Like, I know I'm really like beating a dead horse, but it's like I'm a very big peripheral guy. I mean, there's a reason why I spend fucking money, right? I'm huge on peripherals that work to industry standards and things like that. So if your industry is video gaming and your industry is we want to create an experience and have the gamer feel like they're in the fucking world we're creating, then why are you not upgrading your controllers that have I would say 35 to 40% participation in making you feel immersed in a game? And the only reason I say that is because go back and think about the Nintendo 64. Play GoldenEye without a rumble pack. Put a rumble pack in the fucking controller. It's a different fucking game.
Yeah.
Now, you can say the argument, and I've talked to one of my buddies at work about this, and he's like, yeah, but what about you? You play on your PC, so mouse and keyboards like that's... Yes, but for some reason, and I don't know why, and I don't have an answer for it, it feels fucking different. When I'm playing mouse and keyboard, for some reason, I don't need that response coming through vibration-wise. And I don't know if it's because on the controller, it's triggers. So, you know, when I'm pulling a trigger, I want to feel like you're actually shooting a gun. I don't know why, but for some reason, when it comes to console specifically, like having that feedback in a controller is huge, I think.
Well, be realistic. A controller has more immersion than you do on a mouse and keyboard. And the reason for that is, number one, comfortability, right? Like I could lay back, I could, you know, it's like having a controller of watching TV constantly in one hand, and you could be in any position and still be able to play, right? Mm-hmm. And on a mouse and keyboard, there's only one position you could be in, and it's in the position we're in right now.
Right.
There is no comfortability in PC work. Now, there are mouses out there that they have vibrations in them. If you really want to do that, there is mouses out there that have it. It's not recommended, obviously, because you're going to be doing this all freaking day, and it's just not going to work. You know what I mean? Like on a controller, it's a different situation. You're like, I swear to God, I'm not just looking left and right. I swear. But on a controller, it's a whole different game. Like we're talking about the immersion of what you're playing. You know, when you're walking, the footsteps, the dop, dop, dop. You feel that on the controller. You know? It's
Final Fantasy 14 on the PS5 with the update, dude. The fucking controller, like when you're just walking, you feel the individual steps in the controller. It's fucking sick.
Absolutely. So to go back to where you're saying about Xbox and PlayStation, so I am a PlayStation fan, 100%. Don't matter what you say to me, PlayStation is the elite, right?
Yeah.
In second is always going to be Nintendo. Nintendo has the craziest innovation in every way, shape, or form. Like you just said, if you just innovate something with your controllers to do something different than your competitors, it doesn't matter what games you play, right? If you're immersed in it, it's going to be the best.
Yeah.
Right? So we're talking about the original companies that kicked ass for years is Nintendo and Sony. 100%. Right? Sony with its crazy graphics and how, amazing titles that they have, and they've had amazing titles ever since PlayStation 1. And Nintendo and its simplicity, but yet still so innovative to where you could just have a controller and motion control just starts happening. Gyroscope is all over the place.
Yeah.
And then you got Xbox with, changing out my battery. Like I'm ready for it. Like every year I'm ready to change my battery.
They're part of the Big Bunny company.
Energizers. No. So I personally do not want to buy. Actually, I sold my PlayStation X, not the Series X, but the
You mean
X
the
to my
Xbox
friend.
Series X?
Yeah,
Not the PlayStation X?
I'm sorry.
That doesn't exist.
That's just
well,
stupid.
PSX was the first one, but yeah, that doesn't exist anymore.
Yeah. So, yeah, the PS1 with the S and the Anyways, okay, so my Xbox, I sold all my Xboxes. I still have my original Xbox. I'm never gonna give that away because it is an amazing that is amazing for its year when it came out with PlayStation 2. But every other Xbox, sold them. Don't need them. There weren't any titles on them properly, right? There weren't anything inventive to where PlayStation hasn't already done it, like you just said. And I was never immersed in any of their games except for Halo. Halo was probably the only thing that I was like very immersed into.
Because there's nothing you couldn't get on PlayStation that you couldn't get on Xbox at the time. Even now.
And now, even now, and honestly, I don't need an Xbox because I have a PC.
Yeah,
I have a PC that plays the Xbox games already. Like literally Game Pass, which by the way, I'm sorry, that's the only thing I would say that Xbox has is their Game Pass. Their Game Pass destroys everything. Nintendo subscriptions, PlayStation subscriptions,
but
they have amazing games on there. That there are old titles, 100%.
Oh no, but there's new ones like Requiem. The new Requiem's on there. Plague Tale.
Right. But I'm saying that like it's their service as Xbox, excuse me, as Xbox would say, is amazing. I think they're top tier compared to what PlayStation is providing right now. And I'm a premium member on all of them. I have the Ultimate Game Pass. I have the premium plus whatever PlayStation's calling.
Yeah.
And I have the family Nintendo. Like I have them all. And I gravitate to Game Pass when I go on PC all the time. It's amazing.
But you know what's funny though? Did you see the annual report that came out? Like this Game Pass might not be as illustrious as it has been because it's fucking hurting them in the pocket. I wish, dude, when I see these things, I need to make a habit of like screenshotting it and then sending it over to the Discord so I could pull it up. But somebody showed a graph of the sales already, right? And people who own Xbox Series X just on its own, their sales are stupid low. on games that are on the game with a brand new titles that they put on the Game Pass. Whereas PlayStation, boom, like again, they had no other option but to buy it. But the point is, it's coming down to, are they making enough money off of the Ultimate Pass to justify having AAA titles being free? It's starting to look like it's not, because they are down hugely. They bought, to prove my point and why this is going to be, why potentially this is going to be damaging for them. They bought Bethesda. They spent, correct me if I'm wrong, I think it was like over $1 billion buying Bethesda, right? Am I right?
About.
But right? Or was like, I know it's super high millions, if anything. And Starfield, the most anticipated game from Bethesda since Skyrim. I'm looking forward to that game. I can't wait to play that fucking game. And I'm glad I have an Xbox Series X with an Ultimate Game Pass. You know why? Because it is on Game Pass. It's an exclusive game where nobody's going to have to fucking pay for it. Essentially, you're paying for the Game Pass, but if you add up all of the subscriptions, you're missing out on millions of dollars of sales. And they can prove, and they've been able to prove this by, when you look at God of War, when it released back in 2018. It's huge. Their sales were through the roof, all because they don't have it on either the PlayStation, the PSN of the month right away, or through the premium. Now, I think, though you are correct, I do like the library more on Ultimate Pass. I think Sony handles the output of the games better by allowing popular games to come out. It's kind of like that GOTY, like when, remember back in like the mid 2000s, you'd go see a movie that you really fucking loved, and then you had like a 6-month period before it came out on DVD, and then you had a year period after that before it started getting put on TV.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So what they're doing is, so the release of a brand new game like God of War, that is in theater comparison. Then it going on sale is the DVD version. And now that it's on premium, so if you have, if you have PlayStation Plus, just the basic one even, they added it to the catalog. So now it's like getting that goodie of being able to watch your favorite movie every so often on TV. They're allowing these things to come out over time, just not right away. And I feel like that's a better business model, because these games cost millions of dollars to create. And if you're not getting that money back because your subscription is $50 for a year or whatever for Ultimate Pass, I don't know, because about my Series X, I got an Ultimate Game Pass for 2 years included in the price. So I don't know what the breakdown is of the cost for how long. But it's just like, yeah, dude, like, I get it. Like, it's nice having those games. And I can tell you that between the premium on PlayStation and the Ultimate Pass, I've kind of gotten away with not having to buy some games. Because they're there. Like, honestly, like, if there's a game that's coming out that I'm like, do I want to play this game? Which was the most recent to mind was there are 2 games. Martha is Dead, which is a great game. I would have paid money for that, which is on the Xbox Game Pass. But it wasn't on the catalog for PlayStation. And then there was one on PlayStation, I forget, but the other one was Control. Control is on Game Pass, and that's also on the PlayStation one too. But the point is, when a game comes out, then I'm kind of like, I don't know. I check those 2 first. can I play this game for free? Can I play this game as a trial? Like, I wish Premium had come out before Tiny Tina's Wonderland, even though I like it because it's Borderlands, but it's not great. And I feel like I would have gotten the idea that it wasn't that great with the trial on Premium. But I don't know. I digress.
I actually like that game. I think because it kind of reminded me of Borderlands 2, which was my favorite, like, Borderlands out of all of them.
Yeah,
But
I do like. I am a sucker for being able to create your person however you want them to look like.
Yeah.
I will say
that's always been my thing. But with Game Pass and you saying what you said, which I understand why they're losing a lot of money, but the problem is that they can't keep up with Sony, right? You said the biggest problem between both companies. Number one, PlayStation has all these exclusives that people are going to buy.
Mm-hmm.
They do not have any exclusives that are proper in Xbox. Now, give or take, you just said Bethesda. And obviously Skyrim has, got almost 15, 20 years, it feels like. But this game has been
it's now been 12 because it came out in 2011.
Okay, so 12,
it's 11 years, excuse me.
So being as it is and being re-released like in multiple different, like the first time I played Skyrim, it was on my PS3. So I got it on PlayStation before I even played it on the Xbox. And actually, I never even played it on the Xbox. I played it on the PC. But anyways, so them having Bethesda under their wing, and yes, having it be a Game Pass exclusive, it's going to help them because they're going to get more people to actually buy into their subscription or help them.
Mm-hmm.
But they take so long with their development that it's hurting them a lot right now. Like, look at Skyrim or like Elder Scrolls 6. Like, that's another anticipated game by Bethesda.
And no word on it except that stupid fucking forest video.
That's it. We haven't seen gameplay. We haven't seen anything about this game, and they're working on two projects that literally is going to take them, I feel like 12 years, 6 to 12 years. I think it's been like almost 10 years since you just said, like, Skyrim. Everybody had Skyrim. They want to play the next Elder Scrolls, and they literally don't have anything in between, So my point is, PlayStation has had such a to pay $70 for their exclusive games, and with the amount of content that you get from each one of these games, I don't see why PlayStation would have to put any of their titles on their pass.
Mm-hmm.
Like, one of my biggest things, that the reason why I wanted the premium was because of the PlayStation 1 games and the PlayStation 2 games that are going to be added into them. And that's like my era, right? Like, that's the stuff that I enjoyed when I was a kid that I want to replay. And I've seen so many of these games, and I'm like, dude, I want to play them,
Yeah.
And
I want SOCOM.
Yeah, right? Like, bring back like a lot of our old games that we want to enjoy. And that's the only thing that I would say that I hate so much about PlayStation, is because they have such a freaking amazing library, and they're not working on them. Instead, they're working on PlayStation Stars and all this other garbage that they're putting in. So again, I am a PlayStation fanboy. I have every PlayStation. Like, I still have all of my PlayStations. I have all of my old PlayStation 1 games and even on. And Xbox, to me, is just, I can't. I have a friend that like always tells me, oh, my Xbox, look at the colors and look at this and look at that, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, bro, look at my PC. Like, my PC could outrun this crap any day. It don't matter. Like, even with my 5-year-old graphics card, my 2080 Ti, it still outsmokes a PlayStation or an Xbox.
Dude, I have the 1070. Or no, 1080. Excuse me, I have the 1080. And it's amazing still. Like, it's still a great computer.
yeah, it still outruns a lot of things that these consoles can do, you know. So, um, but yeah, it's. I mean, now that we're leading into that, since we're working with our PCs, and now that like PlayStation and Xbox, did you want to talk about Gotham Knight?
Yeah, sure.
So, huge controversy with the game. Obviously, one of the biggest things is that the developer, which made Arkham City, or I think that's who, or it was Blackgate, one of the two. So the developers, um, I feel bad for them, to be honest. Like they're getting way too much hate for something that I actually enjoy the game. Number one, I feel bad for console players because it's locked at 30 frames, even though like we're talking about next gen consoles like we're doing right now. And this is like a title that's 30 frames, which makes no absolute sense to me. That's the reason why I didn't play it or bought it on the PS5. Playing it on PC is obviously the best way to play this game. It's a solid game. It's a very solid game. Like playing from the four heroes that you play, and I know that there's a lot of things that are locked on there that would help you traverse the world a lot easier. But to be honest, I really didn't care for it as much. Like I did do, and just to go back to what you said, from Valhalla, like I told you to keep that idea set. Um, it has a lot of repetition when it comes to its side quests, a lot. And the thing about the side quests is that's the only way that you can unlock your knighthood, which your knighthood is it's like so. So let me just back up real quick. So when you play each hero, right? Which I feel like I'm gonna have to replay it 4 times because every time you play, the story interacts with that character, right? So like if you not to give too much of a spoiler, but I'm sure you know that Harley Quinn is in it, right?
Yeah.
So when you meet Harley Quinn for the first time, and let's say that you're Jason Todd, which is Red Hood, he'll tell him, what's up, Dead Hood? Like she converses with him with a different dialogue based on that character. If it's Batgirl, or if it's Robin, or if it's Nightwing, each one of them have their own dialogues that you get specially made which each villain, and the story, my goodness, amazing, amazing. When they interact with each other, when they're going up against crime, when they're talking amongst each other, when they're using their intercoms, when everything, amazing, amazing. If you don't want to pay the full price point for the game, and you want to wait for a sale, right? I would say this game is definitely worth the $50. Definitely worth $50. Shit, it's definitely worth $60 to me.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, it has a lot of bugs. There's some issues, and I think so. A lot of people try to like compare this to the Arkham series, right? Which I'm not a huge fan of the Arkham series. I love it. It's great because it's Batman. You have the original Batman voice in it as well. You have Mark Hamill that's as Joker in it. Everything is about it is amazing. The only thing that I hate so much about it is its gameplay.
It's rough.
I don't like Batman going pop, 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 pop. It's like it doesn't flow. It doesn't feel like he's doing like the punches. You hear it and it feels impactful. Everything's great about it, but I do not like how fast you're like. It just doesn't feel like you're flowing properly in the game. This game does. It's slow. Like the fighting, like you'll see him punch. You see him punch. You see him punch. Oh, someone's about to dodge. You could dodge real quick. Punch. You know what I mean? Like everything is it's like you're watching an action movie, and it just feels right. If you play Robin, you get more of the Batman fastness feel, because he's technically the fastest like fighter. But even with him, they did him right. You know what I mean? Like, it doesn't feel like everything feels like it's supposed to fight that way, if that makes sense. Now, there are input lags sometimes when you're fighting certain monsters, or excuse me, fighting certain people. Like, I get what everybody's talking about. The input lag, the movement, because sometimes like their movement is kind of rough too, but it's not as rough as Batman. I think Batman's games are way rough. Like it's a snap. It's snap, right? Like he's snapping and turning around quick. This one is like they have the momentum when they move, if that makes sense. And it just feels good. Like, I don't know, everything about it just feels good. So
it's kind of like when you play The Division and they actually added in like when you're running, there's a decrease in your egress. Like you're halting down to stop. It's not just an instant stop. It's kind of like you got this little bit of a, you're that momentum that you're carrying actually has to wind down for you to stop and then set up to. Yeah, I get that.
Yeah, and honestly, I like those kind of games. I like games that give me that realism of movement, or detail, or anything, and this game has it. It has all of that. And yes, it is, like I said earlier, it is repetitive when it comes down to when you're doing your side quest or you're stopping your crime. So here's the thing. I don't have a problem replaying all these same missions, or at least these side quests, because there's this huge element to this that it blew my mind. Because when you go on your phone, you have a favorite game, right? We're using all the games right now, but Candy Crush or Fruit Ninja or any of those games, right? It's the same shit you're playing all the time, but yet you're leveling up like thousands and thousands and blah, 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 but you're still playing it, right?
Yeah.
So when you play Gotham Knight, every time you leave the tower, it's a new night. Every night has a certain amount of crimes that you're doing, and every night has a certain amount of missions. And when you clear it, you go back to the tower. I love that concept.
Yeah, it feels organic.
Like, it feels like I did something in the world. There's no more crime. Which, by the way, there is still like little side things, like kind of like Red Dead. Like if you're going to one spot, there's all of a sudden like someone being robbed or someone doing this, but it's not like a main. You know what I mean?
Or like in Spider-Man. I will say that's one thing I hate about Spider-Man. It's like, good God, fucking NYPD, figure it the fuck out. Jesus Christ, you just yeah, we got a yeah. Why is it reverbing? Never mind, it's not working. Forget it. I was trying to do a cop radio. Listen, every 5 fucking seconds, it's there's this bad guy. He's down on the south corner of West Side and Fifth. What the fuck? I was just there getting a pizza.
You're like, dude, I just got that cat off the tree. You're telling me there was a crime next to me?
Or how about
time?
this? I just got my ass fucking kicked by Doc Ock. I'm trying to relax a little bit. Help me. Help me help you.
And that's the cool thing about this game, is that like there is a limit in the crimes that happen every night, right? And it's not the same. Every night has a different crime, right? Some of them are very similar, in different locations, which is fine. It's whatever. You're there to fight them. But then when you're done fighting them, you do the investigation parts where you're investigating like the main part of the story or the side quest, or it just feels right. I wish there was more diversity in the fact of like crime wise, but it's good enough for like its first title. Like its first, like I want a Gotham Knights too. Like that's how I feel, to really address the issues that a lot of people have. Now, multiplayer. I'm not a fan of it. I'm not a fan of it.
Yeah.
Because it goes based on peer to peer. So if they have a shit computer and a shit network, you're gonna have a shit time playing their stuff. It's just the name of the game. I run good internet here. I have a very good PC. If I host the lobby, I'm sure you won't get as much latency. But I've played with 3 to 4 different people, which, by the way, whenever you finish their crime, you could always go back into the tower and you could switch your hero. You could both be the same hero. That's the cool part too. And each hero has a different costume, which I just figured out that you synthesize items in the game. Like you have to build a new like armor and build new weapons and build new like side items. But every time you build on them, they have a certain I guess skin on those armors. So you do have like 16 different armors that each character gets. And you could also transmog them, right? And if you like a certain set, you could rock with it. But that certain set you may get later down the line with an alternate color. So whatever you transmog, you can't alter its color, you can't alter its stuff. But if you have the original item and it's on your set, you could change the cowl, you could change the hands, you could change the symbol, and you could change the feet into three different versions of them, basically. So it has a little bit more like
customization
for you, for yourself. Yeah, it's like it's more custom to yourself. The skill tree, until you unlock knighthood, you get 3 skill trees, and they're based upon like your melee, your damage and health, and your side weapon. Like Red Hood would have his gun, so you could increase that. So I don't like the UI when it comes to like your items and stuff. It's just a little too congested. It doesn't feel right, but everything else is amazing in it. And I honestly, I will say this to you: if you have a chance, buy the game. I absolutely think it's an amazing game. It is worth its price minus 10. Like, it's not worth $70. I'll tell you that. It's definitely not worth $69.99 either. Or I'm sorry, $59.99 either. I would say $49.99 would be perfect for its price. If you could find, I think I told you, I went to a website that I had like a $10 like gift card from there, and I actually got the game for $50, and it's worth every penny. I was like, this is the game. So, not to like really dive into its story, but it's actually during the story of what I enjoyed in the DC comic of when Batman dies, and it's an amazing storyline. And the Court of the Night Owls is like amazing. It's a great storyline. So, like I said, it's a good game. I don't feel like the controversy of what they put on it is it doesn't do it justice. I don't think so. Actually, I went on Steam to look at like reviews on it right now, and it's actually at a very positive right now. And I'm like, wow, it was mixed at one point, and now it's at very positive. And I'm like, thank you, because it is, it absolutely is. So
nice. Speaking of side quests, what?
Worth it, totally worth it.
Speaking of side quests, I feel like, and I'm so happy, by the way, that The Witcher is getting a remake. Did you hear that?
With Chris Hemsworth's brother?
No, not the fucking TV show. The first game is getting a remake from the ground up.
Yeah. I heard CD Projekt Red put that up.
Yeah. The Witcher 3 and their side quests, excluding Ghost of Tsushima, is the best. Like, every side quest did not feel like a side quest. Like, it felt like it had a purpose beyond just, oh, here's some side quests I need to do to get some kind of gear or XP. Like, the story was good. Like, it you know what I mean? Like, it was so well done. And I honestly think that, like, The Witcher 3 ruined, like, open world quest games for me, because I literally have played every fucking single mission, quest, story thing, fucking whatever in that game. Like, I hounded down all, dude, even their expansions, Hearts of Stone and the Blood and Wine or whatever.
Blood and Wine. Mm-hmm.
Bro, I loved the whole storybook one of Heart and Stone, where you're literally in, like, Rapunzel's world, and then you're in fucking Hansel and Gretel. Like, you know what I mean? Like, dude, it's so good. It's so good storytelling. You know? Well,
then you're gonna love the new update that they're doing for the PS5 then.
What? Witcher 3?
Yeah.
Yeah, but they said that's been put on the back burners, I thought.
No, it's still coming out this year.
It is?
It's still coming out this year. No back burner. You're getting 50 or 60 frames on PS5 if you have the Game of the Year edition.
Which I do. And you don't have to pay for it. It's a free PS5 upgrade.
It's free for us. Yep.
God damn.
I'm excited for it.
Well,
I can't wait. I'm about to put another 1,000 hours into Witcher 3.
I was just gonna say, it looks like I'm gonna have to stream that game.
Yeah.
But and that's the thing too. That's probably gonna come out at Christmas time.
Yes, it is.
You know, it comes out December 2nd.
No.
Callisto Protocol. We're literally less than 30 days of the spiritual successor to fucking Dead Space.
Yeah, that's
like,
what I'm saying? How am I gonna get to God of War? How am I gonna get to God of War, bro?
Do it now.
It's not gonna happen.
Do it right now.
It's not gonna happen.
Fuck Gotham Knights. Just do that and then buy Ragnarok, because we gotta talk the story of this game.
Yeah.
No, especially because, and I know, depending on job change for you, things like that, but you know, it plausible. I mean, I would love to, like, do a podcast solely on, like, what's going on in Ragnarok.
Yeah.
Because I feel like that's just it's going to be such a content heavy game where there'll just be a billion things to talk about.
Yeah. Or like the finer details that we don't see. Like, I saw, you saw, I saw, yeah.
Yeah, and speaking of games that are really good that I was surprised by, I was playing what's it called? Mortuary Assistant. Hey, have you played that game?
Good? No, I'm sorry.
And I know I've been swearing, but dude, this is for effect. It is terrifying. All right? You are literally working on dead people, and then the devil possesses them, like, whatever. Or not the devil, but like demons. Okay, so basically the premise is this. What I've put together is, you're this chick who I believe is it's kind of like a Shutter Island, where, like, you're the psych patient but they're making you think that you're doing shit, you know? Because there's very right off the bat in the game, even in the demo, you kind of get that feeling based off of things that they're saying. So then you go to work at this mortuary, and you get told that, like, all these demons are trying to possess you, and then, like, in order to do it, they have to, like, use the cadavers you're working on. So then, like, you have to, like, go through and figure out who the demon is, and then banish them in the body that you're working on, basically. So, like, you'll be working, sewing up a fucking face, and then all of a sudden the fucking guy's like,
"Hello, what are you doing, bitch?" this. I am Bethesda. Blah, 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 blah.
It's like, holy shit. And like, they're like back arches and like, that effect was really nice.
No.
Yeah, dude, like the eyes
perfect.
roll back and like, dude, there's this part where like, there's this long hallway to where the bodies are kept in the cold storage, whatever they're called. And the furnace room. And this one demon like drags you through the hallway and then drops you and then like goes black, and then like you see the cadaver body that you were working on like walking to you, and her body's all like contorted and shit, and like her neck is like down here, and then like her it's like fuck. And then there's this fucking albino like hairless fucking dude who's got bright yellow eyes that just likes to fuck with you and like follows you around and shit. Like, it's fucked up, dude. It is messed up.
Okay, so I'm gonna be realistic with you on this one.
Yeah.
I've seen the game in its entirety.
Yeah.
Because I'm that much of a bitch to play it.
Dude.
I saw Markiplier play it, and I was terrified.
Yeah. It's fucked up.
And I know that, and the crazy thing is the game, even though I seen him play it, right? It's still procedurally generated, so it's not going to be the same.
It's not. Yeah, exactly. Can you believe that a single person developed that game? Did you know that?
Insane. Yeah.
That's
He's
insane. It's such a good game. But
it's such a good game.
But speaking of spoopies, like, did I tell you? I know I told Matt I bought Phasmo.
Oh, no.
Yeah. So I can play with you boys.
We gotta
but
play
now I'm gonna fucking troll his ass because I love watching him play that game because he gets fucking scared.
Oh,
and when he starts getting hunted, you know what I'm gonna do?
Hello, Matt. I'm coming for you, baby.
Dude, if you do that,
you want me to touch
I will be.
You want me to get you, boy?
Use that over the comms when we're talking.
Yeah.
Use that over the comms.
Matt, I've invested in your brain.
Dude, he will fucking lose his mind, dude.
I will lose my mind on VR. Like,
and then when he sings that stupid fucking "Where are you?"
Where are
I'm right here. Where are you?
You know, like he'll be like, "Wait, what? What?"
I can't wait. That's gonna be great.
Oh,
That's
man.
gonna be great.
Oh man, I have too much fun with that. I've been using that a whole lot more in my streams. It's great.
That's good.
And you know what comes out? So God of War comes out on the 8th, and you know what comes out on November 17th? The Devil in Me from Dark Pictures Anthology.
Dark Pictures and Anthology, dude.
Hey, have you beaten out House of Ash yet?
I have not. I'm barely about to touch it right now.
Oh, you haven't even touched? Oh, that's right. You played Little Hope.
Yeah, so I played Little Hope, and then all of a sudden I lit a fire underneath my ass and started playing The Quarry.
That is so good.
It
has 1980s camp like slasher feel, but it's set in modern day, which is amazing. I love it. I haven't gotten very far in it, but I've been loving every minute of it so far.
I'm not going to tell you what's up, but I will say
I know it's werewolves. I know that. I've seen that part.
No. Just do your best to save everybody. And I will tell you right now, if there's a decision, I'm going to tell you, and you think it's the right one, do the opposite. That's it. That's all I'm asking you to do. I ain't going to tell you where or what or when or what it is. Do the opposite. That's it. That's all I'm going to tell you. It's Denise and I bought the game at 10 o'clock in the morning. We finished the game at 11 to 12 o'clock at night. We literally sat there, played that game.
The fuck was Charlotte doing?
Day. She was sitting there with us.
What? You let your daughter watch that?
So
I'm very disappointed in you,
so
Miguel.
look, so she was on her iPad. She was on her iPad. She was sitting next to us. So she was entertaining herself. She was fine. We still, did our family stuff.
Oh,
but
Jesus. For everybody who doesn't know, Charlotte is 6.
she is 6.
And
years
you
old,
let
yeah.
your...
No, hold on. She is a horror baby, first off. It freaks me out how much of a horror baby this kid is.
She shouldn't even know what that shit is right now, Miguel. You know what that tells me is because you're... I'm not going to judge you.
No,
I'm not. I believe in parental rights, but holy shit, bro. Oh my God.
I knew these things ever since I was her age. I watched Jason. I watched Halloween.
She's watched Jason?
No. She hasn't watched Jason, nor has she watched Freddy, but she has watched Michael. Which Michael, I'm okay with, because there's not as much like sex scenes as there is in Jason and Freddy.
Oh
and he stabs
God.
people.
Wait, you're gonna let her watch Game of Thrones House of Dragons next? Like, what the fuck?
Hold on. She hasn't watched the Rob Zombie versions. She watched the original 1979 version, which, by the way, they're not as graphic as they are nowadays.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, they're old and cheesy.
So there's a whole, they're old, like, when he does the kill, it's in first person, and it's like, you see, and then he disappears. Like, you don't see him stab them or do anything. You know what I mean? So she comes up to me this Halloween, and she goes, and I'm over here anticipating.
Yeah,
her to
I
be
saw your post on Instagram.
A princess, yeah. This little girl's like, I want to be a broken doll.
I want to be
Annabelle.
What?
Yeah, she said that too. I'm like, I want to be Annabelle. I'm like, how the hell?
How does she know who Annabelle is?
I've never seen it, bro. YouTube Shorts. I was like,
hey,
I need to take you off of that.
You got to be careful with that. No, yeah, dude, you got to be careful with that, man. Do you know who Wooby Booby is or whatever his fucking name is?
No.
Oogie Woogie. He's a fucking terrifying little bear doll thing with sharp razor blade teeth. And Ian, also for the audience who doesn't know, my son is 7. He's a year older than Charlotte. Ian was like not wanting to sleep in his fucking room. And we're like, what the fuck, dude? Like, no, but then, dude, he in class was drawing this fucking thing.
Are you serious?
Yes. And he brought home some work, and I was like, what is this? He's like, well, that's the scary Woogie. I forget his fucking name. You can ask Teresa, but I was like, all right. And then I was like, where did you see that? He goes, on YouTube. And I got pissed because he knows YouTube is only to be watched when like an adult is around, because like what he really likes to watch is there's like this family that he watches who builds Legos and then they play like Minecraft and shit. But like the algorithm put that in with that shit, and he was doing something he wasn't supposed to be doing, which was watching YouTube by himself. And I was like, yep, you're not, like, I nuked that. I was like, you're not watching YouTube anymore. Nope. Yeah. Not even with you. No, not ever, because not until you're old enough, because you number one, you didn't listen, and number two, that shit is terrifying, dude. Like, even as an adult, I was like, whoa, like, I can't believe he saw that. Like, that is, it's messed up, dude. It's fucked up.
It's she's shown me, like, so when she watches on YouTube, there's a lot of like dancing, because she's in ballet and she's in those kind of stuff, so she likes doing that. And she also watches a certain family as well on YouTube, but I've caught her like watching these horror things, and I'm like, dude, turn that off. Like, you can't be watching that kind of stuff. And the thing is, like, the difference between movie scare and this YouTube scare is that this scare is a shock scare.
Mm-hmm.
Movie scares are for like thrillers. You get what I'm saying? Like, when you watch a Michael movie, the jump scares is because of the sounds, like, because that's the point of this stuff. The shock value on YouTube is legit shock, like ripping people's head off or opening up their mouths or showing guts, or, you know what I mean? Like, there's a shock value to it where the fear is actually worse, you know? So going back to what I was saying about like the quarry, when a lot of those scenes were to come by, because you know something's gonna happen, right? Charlotte, turn around, or like watch your tablet, or do something, or let's do something, or whatever. But my kid,
Yeah.
But my kid, like she like it's crazy how she understands what something isn't real, and it doesn't affect her, and like the darkness doesn't affect her. Like with me, if I watch scary movies like ghost movies or anything, if I walk, I'm pretty sure you have too. When you walk down a hall and it's dark, you're scared.
No.
You're like, something's gonna pop out of it. You never had that?
Dude, I've lived in a house with actual fucking real fucking like demons in it. Like, no.
Okay, I have it. So I've had that.
So I can tell you, if you want me to ever tell, if you ever want to know there's something in your house, just ask me and I'll come over. I'll fly out there and take a look. Because nah, when you've experienced the real deal, I will say, like, the feeling of like being watched, like I used to have that really bad, like when I was a kid. Well, that was because like things were literally fucking watching me, but but like, no, I will say, like, not at this house, but at the Caldwell house when we first moved out here to Chicago. Nothing was wrong with that house at all, but like for whatever reason, there were a couple times where like when I would turn the lights off in the basement, I would be walking up the stairs. Couple times I've been kind of like, I think I'm going to walk a little bit faster than I'm walking right now. But I mean, yeah, no, man. Like, speaking of like that, having your kid watch something that's appropriate. So Ian and I have watched Indiana Jones. The only one we haven't watched is Temple of Doom, because that whole fucking no. But we started off with Raiders of the Lost Ark, and I'm thinking, it's fine, everything's fine. And then you get towards the end of the movie, and I'm like, wait, I was like, I'm having a memory here. And like Ian's sitting like right here, we're watching, and then I was like, isn't it beautiful? And I was like, oh no. And I was like, Ian, don't look. He's like, why can't I look? I was like, because not even Indiana Jones is looking right now. Just don't look. And then we watch The Last Crusade, and the same fucking thing with the cup, and he drinks it.
Yeah.
But you know what was funny, dude? Like when he took a drink from the cup, Ian was like, I don't think that was the right cup. Like before before the Templar Knight goes, you chose poorly. Like Ian was just like, Jesus wouldn't have a cup like that. I was like, you're right, he wouldn't.
Right.
Like,
yeah.
And then so Ian says that, and then like all of a sudden, because it'd been a few years since I'd seen it, or like at least now that I'm not watching it as a parent, so now I'm like super hyper aware, And so then he says that, I was just like, wait, does something fucked up happen right now? And then the guy goes, I was like, oh, that's right. He turns into a fucking Nazi skeleton. Oops. Like, yeah. And then like, when he grabs the girl and it's like the crypt keeper, like, like turns into dust. It's like, oh my God. Oh, yeah.
It's a Disney movie.
That dude, the fucking Simpsons is on Disney now. Okay. Like that doesn't mean shit. When you have Homer's, dude, like when they were like, oh, when they were coming out with Disney Plus, and Disney said, we want to create a streaming platform where parents feel their kids can watch freely on their own without them being worried about what they're watching. Motherfucker, dude, like one of the very first TV shows you add with it is the fucking Simpsons. Like, it's not horrible, but it's also not like 7-year-old appropriate. And
you might as well just add Family Guy.
Right. And then, or South Park even, you know? And then,
I think South Park is a lot harder.
yeah, it is. But,
I think South Park's a little bit harder.
but, you know, dude, and then like, you know, a lot of the new Marvel shit that's coming out, like Ian can't watch that shit, like not right now. You know, so then they're like, well, now we're gonna have profile. Like, you can child lock your profile so that every time if a kid is on their profile and it's under in their so Ian's profile is a kid's profile on Disney, and once he accesses it, he can't leave it without putting in a code. Right. So since he's a fucking chimp, he can't fucking put in a code. So then we have to put it in and go to ours, you know. Yeah. Yeah.
Button.
No, like literally, dude, like when Ian would get really upset when he was a baby, like 2, and he couldn't talk. He, you know, like hit the door shit. Oh man.
Oh, that's great. I miss those times though.
Yeah. It was funny.
But,
I saw a customer yesterday, and their kid was like fucking 2 or 3, and they're doing the like they had their hands on the cart, you know, and they're like,
oh God, no.
and they're like, no, you know, and I was like, yeah, like when I struck up a conversation with the parent, you know, I was like, yeah, you know, I miss my son being that age because like it's just a fun age, you know, but like at least he knows to keep shit out of his mouth. Like he's not fucking, yeah, licking doorknobs and, oh, this is new. Let me lick it, son. That was a urinal. You're gross. Like what the fuck.
Oh man.
You know. Yeah. You know, and then there's
we digressed.
Yeah, we digress. Yeah, there's like or you know, or it'd be like those kids on fucking that movie Grown Ups, and the what? Mommy, I want milk. It's like, dude, that kid's like 12. Like,
yeah,
the fuck.
I wanted milk with him too.
Yeah, okay. I want your snack. Can I get num nums or whatever you say, Mom? Num nums.
Yeah.
And then that's right, yeah. Because then Chris Rock goes, well, can I get some num nums?
I haven't seen Grown Up 2. I need to watch that.
It's not as, I mean, it's good, but it's not, I mean, the original is always the best. But, you know what's funny? And I know we're just kind of just talking as we're wrapping up, but like, dude, so my father-in-law came out last week. And he brought a little gift package for Ian. And you want to know what children's book he bought Ian? Just take a wild guess.
Is it Welsh's book? Is it Welsh's book?
He bought him Johnny the Walrus.
No. He did? What?
Dude. So then they're sitting there reading it. So hold on. So they're sitting there reading it. And Ian's catching on a little bit. He doesn't know about political stuff, but like, he was like, wait, but Johnny's just playing. And Phil was like, yeah, he's just playing pretend, you know. You know what the book's about, right?
Yeah.
Right. So, but the mom is like taking it serious and is going to do these things. And he was like, well, I pretend sometimes that I'm Pikachu, but I'm not Pikachu. And I was like, God damn, like if that ain't the fucking truth, dude, like right out of the mouth of babes, like you get it. Like,
yeah, 7-year-old.
Oh, yeah. 7-year-old knows.
I should buy that book for Charlotte.
It's good. It's good. It's
Is it? Shit.
Yeah, it's pretty funny. Pretty, yeah, I can see why people got upset about it, but I find it funny. So, but yeah, man, I think we'll do our post convo, but otherwise, yeah, I think we're pretty much set, right?
Yeah,
Anything
yeah,
else?
no, it's been a long podcast for sure. It was a good one.
We just hit the 2 hour mark. We usually do about 2 hours.
So I think people will have a pretty good drive listening to this. Good, good topics all over the place.
Yeah,
so,
especially about Johnny the Walrus.
That was probably the highlight of this whole thing. Damn, I wish my in-laws would go up and give that to Charlotte. I'll die.
Oh man, yeah, it's good fun. Good fun. All right, man. Just we'll do the outro here, and we'll catch up here in a second. Okay.
Absolutely.
All right. Thanks for talking, man. I appreciate it.
No, thank you guys. Appreciate it.
All right, everybody. Thanks so much. We will see you hopefully in a week. We're going to try to do this more before he goes to a new job potentially. But yeah, we're gonna try to get this knocked out weekly especially because of a lot of big titles coming out in the next couple weeks. So thank you so much for hanging out. Appreciate it. And we'll see you here on the next one.
You've been listening to Alt F4. DuperZo is a coffee-loving, scotch-drinking, cigar-smoking gamer, and always will be. We hope you enjoyed the show. We know we had a blast. Make sure to like, rate, and review the show. And we'll be back soon. Don't forget the gamer tag and Twitter account, DuperZo. And Twitter for the show is Alt F4 Podcasts. Y'all be cool. See you next time.